Hey, hi, and hello, welcome to the video. My name is Calista. This is my booktube account, Calista Books, where I will be sharing my love for books, do a lot of reading vlogs. I love talking about books, love yapping. So if you are in the mood for that, please stick around. In today's video, as you could tell by the title, we're going to be talking about my August TBR. I think this is one of the few months that I don't have a immense TBR. For once. Like, most of the books that I will be reading right now are on my physical TBR and not books I have digital or whatnot. I don't know, I just want to have a small TBR with room for a lot of mood reading. I think that's what I really want, because I noticed in July I had like a big TBR. I think it was like 8 or 9 books, and I was like a little bit stressing because I was like, I have 3 more books to read. I don't know if I will finish it. Obviously I did. I don't know why I was stressing, because I read around 20 books a month. And I don't know, I only read like 7, but some were not on my TBR initially when I read them. So I was like, I messed up my TBR. I didn't. But that's why this month I want to do a little bit of a downgrade, choose a bit less books, and stick around for a lot more mood reading if I'm in the mood for it. So let's get started. And the first book I have here is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown, which is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy. It says trilogy, but I think after this trilogy there's another trilogy that you can read. I think there's like 6 books out right now in this universe. I originally had Red Rising on my TBR, but I am currently reading Red Rising. So I was like, okay, I will put the second book on my TBR then. I don't know too much about this trilogy. I do know that Red Rising is happening on Mars, and it has to be like a sort of Hunger Games vibe, like dystopian, but set on like Mars. So it's also sci-fi. And there's going to be like a sort of tournament, I think. What I saw on Goodreads, I was reading reviews of people. And someone was like, this is so much worse than Hunger Games. Like, make it more graphic. So I think I'm in for a wild ride. But I'm currently reading Red Rising. I'm 100 pages in, and so far I'm really liking it. It is a lot of world building, but it is very important. So that's the first book on my TBR for August. Then I have a dark romance just as palate cleanser. Which is insane to say, I know, but I use a lot of dark romance to palate cleanse in between reading fantasy, sci-fi, or if I'm just done with reading a normal book. But this is Older by Jennifer Hartman, and this is a best friend's dad trope. So a lot of like an age gap. I saw this book at Tiki Maxx for like €9. I was like, okay, I will buy it. I don't know. I think this is gonna be a fun book. I don't know too much about it. I do think, yeah, on the back it says bruised, abused, and victim to loveless household. I shimmered with new life the moment he found me drowning my sorrows in a lake beneath the stars. A chance encounter, an unspoken connection. I was smitten, he was curious. But as everyone knows, fate can be decidedly cruel. He called me Haley, like the comet. I called him Reed, and my best friend, well, she called him Dad. So that's like what on the back is. I'm very excited. I have heard multiple things about this book. Some were good, some were bad. I don't know. I want to see where I land with it. And if I don't enjoy it, I will not enjoy it. Which is fine. But I'm also very intrigued by her other book, which is Still Beating, I think. She also, yeah, Still Beating. I'm also very curious about that book, but we'll see how Older falls. Then I have The Ocean Will Paint Me Blue by Zulfa Kato. This is her newest release. And I read As Long as the Lemon Tree Grow back in February. I think I gave it a 4 or 5 stars. And I'm very excited for this book. When I saw it came out, I'm not up to date with this author. I just saw someone talking about it on BookTok, and I was like, oh, she has a new book out. Let me pick it up. I also think, I don't know if this like also set in like war times. I just want to go into as blind as possible, so I don't If you want to read the back, you can tell. You can't. But you can look it up. I think it's also going to be like an emotional read, but I'm very excited for it. Then I have a book by Frida McFadden, which is The Tenant. I don't know, I'm on a grind to read a lot of Frida McFadden lately. Like, over the last 3 months, I think I've read 6, maybe 7 books by her. So very excited for this one. I read the entire The Household trilogy in June. Then I read Dear Debbie and the Divorce. So I'm very excited for this one. I think this one is a little less liked, a little less loved by people that have read it. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm also debating on buying more of her books, but I'm really debating on The Boyfriend currently. But I don't know, I saw this store and was like, I don't know, I will probably first read it on Kindle, and then if I like it I will get the book. In this book you follow Blake and Whitney, and Blake, Blake is gonna be like the landlord, and Whitney is the tenant, and I don't know, something's up with Whitney, and you will probably can tell by the book. Something will go wrong, and every single time I think I figured Frida out, I get whiplash by her. So we'll see where it goes. I have very high hopes for that book, I'm not gonna lie. And then the last book I have on my physical TBR, it's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also picked it up recently at the store. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it out. What is this? Why is like this all just reviews about the book? Okay. Well, at least a summary on the back and not just like some reviews, but sure. I don't know, I'm very excited for this. This is about, I think, people going into space, and then I think it goes wrong. I don't know. I saw so many people cry about this book that I am also now very intrigued about it. But I saw a lot of things about, like, a lot of people liking this, and I'm like, okay, I want to know too. What's it about? But I like to go into my books like relatively blind. If you watch my previous TBR videos, you know that I've mentioned a lot of times that I like to go into my books as blind as possible. So I will read the back of the book in a bookstore, and then it will gather some dust on my bookshelf, and then when I finally read it, I don't look at the back. I'd be like, I want to read it now, and I will read it. Basically, that sums up my reading experiences. But I have 2 books, or 3 books that are I don't currently have here, but one of the books is The Return of the King, which is the 3rd and final part in the Lord of the Rings series, which I'm also doing a reading vlog about. So every single month I read a Lord of the Rings book. So in June I started and I read The Fellowship of the Ring, and then in July I read The Two Towers, and now in August I will be reading The Return of the King. And then I make a reading vlog about it. Very excited for you guys to see. So that's one of the books that I'm excited to read about. And then I have Crosscheck by Chelsea Cotto, which is part 6 in the DC Star series. It has been pushed back to, I think, the 1st of August that's now going to be released. So I'm praying that it will be released then, because it should be released in June. And it didn't, push back. Very excited for it, but I think the release is for August 1st. But I'm not too sure. But that is a definitely race for me as well. But I don't currently own it or have it in my hands or whatever. And then the 3rd book I don't currently have is My Dreadful Reverie, which is the 2nd part in the duology with My Dreadful Darling. And H.G. Cotton also pushed that back. It was going to be released in May, and now it's going to be released in August. But I don't know the release date for that one. But if it comes out, I will be reading it like immediately. Like on release day. But I don't know. We'll see if I read any of these books. If not, I will not. And you get to see it in my wrap up which ones I did read and which one I didn't, and what I thought about it. But that's gonna be like a whole new whole month for you guys to wait about it. But that's my TBR for August. If you want to follow me on my other socials, they will be linked down below or on screen right now. Bookstagram, BookTube, or BookTok, and Goodreads. I always link them down below. If you liked it, please leave a like. It would mean a lot to me. Leave a comment what you want to read in August. And if you liked it, please subscribe and help out the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.